Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's annual Rivals Challenge for a one-off race in the Lamborghini Group 4 at its maximum power and minimum weight. With being the annual Rivals Challenge, it's a one-off event where we race with no boost. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers get on against their rivals. Now, I'm not going to waffle on, I'm just going to hand straight over to our commentators. So here we go then for the annual Rivals Challenge from Cirque. And I was going to say Cirque de la Spa, but it's not, it's Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. But joining me on commentary for this event is Ray. How are you, Ray? Sobered up from Christmas yet?
Yeah, I was pretty sober over Christmas, but yeah.
What about New Year?
I was sober.
Alright.
I was actually sober.
Bloody
I never
hell.
had a drink
Bloody hell.
New Year's Day either.
Oh, we'll get on to that in a minute. Demon Art on pole position for the Arc with Steve F1 in second. Although technically Jason was second in qualifying, but we'll get to that in a moment. So starting second is Jason. In third, we've got some ball bag. Who's said he was sober at Christmas, with Art Pal in fourth place. Who's that in fifth, Ray?
Conrad in fifth, and then we're going down to Philip Schofield, Twilight, and don't know what position now.
Yep.
And then we've got Jimmy in his purple helmet car.
Yep.
And then we've got Gary, and then I don't know who that is.
It's
You
Bob.
may take over.
That's Bob. That's
Bob.
the almighty Nash. Yep, Bob. With Dave the Harp alongside him. And then we've got Hay with an interesting livery there. And then I think you can get that one, Ray.
That's a Jamaican, that's Rich. And then we've got SGP at the back, and
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, well, SGP didn't get a qualifying lap in. He had a bit of an error in qualifying. And Jason did qualify second, but then had a malfunction. So he starts at the back of the race. So here we go then for the second arc ever. The annual Rivals Challenge. There's no boost. There's tyre wear. There's fuel. There's 4 lights, 5 lights. Away they go. And they should be quicker than the Ford GT40, and they are quicker. And it looks like a good start from Steve F1 trying to get round the outside of Demon. Oh no, now going for a switchback, but he can't do it.
No, he can't, but SRI has had a good, what do you call it, off turn 1?
Good run off turn 1, yeah.
Yeah, so he's moved up into second place.
He has always getting busy on Peau Rouge. Couple of cars getting close. SGP and Gary and Dave the Arp, I think. Oh no, sorry, it's Twilight and Jason. It's very busy. It's very wide. And here comes Rich from third to last. He's now definitely not that.
No, as we see, as Steve F1 SRI having a good battle, and they've got Conrad behind them. They need to watch because Conrad can easily sneak in and take a place like he has done with Steve F1.
That he could do. Artpal was in that fight as well, but he's just dropped off a little bit into the clutches of Bob and Jimmy. So Bob and Jimmy have had decent starts. Artpal will be hoping that he can keep in touch with Steve F1 at the moment. Demon Oz opening up a gap early on. The battle between second, third and fourth will have helped with that. As Conrad having a look at P1. Oh, but he can't quite do it.
SRI trying to defend with all his might here. He's got 2 great drivers behind him. It's been a while since he's kind of raced them both.
That is true. I was looking at the pack cam. I think that's Bob's rear wing. I'm guessing. Oh, side by side, Conrad and SRI for second place through Stamolo 2. They're still side by side now. Does Steve F1 give a bump draft or does he just slipstream?
It depends. Well, he could bump draft to get past one car and then figure out what he's wanting to do with the next car.
Yeah, well, he's managed to get ahead of Conrad. Conrad backing out into Blanchimont, which is not a bad idea. You don't really want to be on the dirty side. Steve F1 going for the move on SRI now. Trying to go for 2 in 2. SRI's having none of it, but here comes Conrad. And that's the benefit of backing out.
These two need to calm it down here. Remember the last time they were on this straight? It was a bumpity bump.
That there was. Conrad may get the run up the inside of SRI here. Yes, he does in the background. Jimmy making the move on Bob. Up the inside, and Hay trying to make the move on Artpal as well. a lot of moves being made in the opening few laps. What I will say though is this battle for second, there's one downside to it. It's letting Demon R run away at the moment, but Conrad managing to get past SRI up the hill. Oh, who's that that's gone big time wide? It's Jimmy on the pack cam.
These guys need to watch. If they keep battling, the guys at the back could catch up with them. They're going to be a lot slower.
Absolutely. They're side by side though behind them, which will help. That's Bob and Jimmy still battling through Lacombe as at the end of the Kemmel straight through those chicanes they go. I think Bob has managed to get ahead. No, Jimmy's ahead, sorry, of Bob. My apologies, it's Jimmy with the yellow rear wing. But a great battle going on here. Now, we should mention as well, for anyone that doesn't know, normally in the Dynamic GT League we have boost available. We have many reasons for it. If you don't know why, watch our other videos. Now, this race, the annual rivals...
Wait till a wee bit later.
yeah. Wait till this race is finished, then go and watch those. Conrad's got a good run here on Steve F1. As Rich making moves on Gary on the pack cam. So in this race, with it being the annual Rivals Challenge, we do it once a year, there's no boost, and it's basically...
Conrad!
To save it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we've seen a lot of cars in the past go out there and you end up spinning and facing the wrong direction.
He's white.
Yeah, still the dirty tyres, I reckon, there. Manages to get back on, but he's gone from attacking Steve F1 to now behind SRI on the pack cam. It's getting busy. So basically what I was trying to say was there's no boost in this race, which means that we may see the field get a lot more spread out than we're used to. Conrad, is he going to go for it? I think he may have to be careful because those dirty tyres, and I think he's aware of that.
Yeah, I may have felt that he's not going to... If he breaks that wee bit too late, he's... Oh, Jesus!
Well, interestingly, we saw two cars making a move on each other, going through a ghosted car. Now, I should mention as well, unfortunately, we will see cars ghosted at times, and that's because we have got the off-track limits penalties applied. So the ETL penalties in-game are being applied. Now, we don't get to see when a driver's got a penalty on the screen, but if we see them ghosted at any point, it's more than likely because they are slowing down to serve their penalty. So in a way, it's good that it ghosts them. I'm looking at these two battles here. Arpal making the move, Conrad making the move, both on the Kemmel straight for third and fourth and fifth and sixth.
Yeah, it's a great battle. SRI still trying to keep there with Conrad, giving them pressure. Arpal and Bob still side by side at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is
Bob's done a switchback. Can he hold it?
He might be able to. Oh, now Arpal's going to go for the switchback, but I think Bob has got the inside line for No Name. Yeah, he has. That'll put Arpal out wide. Ooh, a little bit of touch, but that's all right.
Yeah, that was great switchback from Bob, and then just placed his car. As we see Conrad.
He went and touched deep. He turned in a little late for Puon, and he ran him out wide. Two wheels on the Astro, and that's put SRI all over the back of him once again. Well, yeah. I mean, very interesting battles going on, that's for certain.
Yeah, minimum contact as well. This is great.
Yeah, what about Maximum? She likes a bit of contact as well.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. Okay, couple of something else to mention as well. Tyres. There's two tyre compounds available to the drivers. As once again we've got SRI and Conrad and Arpal and Bob battling. Conrad nearly went a little while. Oh, we can see. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
He's got a half a second penalty.
Yeah. So by the looks of it, then, if we are on board with SRI, he might get a penalty there as well. So maybe if we're on board with someone when they get the penalty, maybe we see it. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, we've got cars. A couple of cars that have gone into the pits. So I wanted to mention about the tyres. As Arpal and Bob still battling down into turn one, and this is one of the brilliant reasons why we have the pack cam, because we've had two great battles going on and we've been able to see both of them, although if you have to look at the screen a bit tilted, like right eye on the bottom right corner, left eye on the main screen. But yeah, tyres. Tell us about the tyres, Ray.
What happens if you don't hit? Bob with a bit of corner cut, he might get a penalty for that.
Yep,
Yeah, he
has.
did a second penalty. 1 second penalty. What was I going to say? I can't remember because Bob's put me off.
Well, we were talking tyres, so we see Bob ghosted there. That's him slowing down and the penalty being taken off him a little bit. I must admit, I'm not a big fan of it ghosting because it would lead to people like driving into each other, but we don't have a choice on that. But yeah, drivers get to the end of the race to remove the penalties. So tyres, Raymond, tell us about the tyres.
It's alright. Back cam went wide coming out of corner with no name. The tyres, there's 2 types of tyres, racing soft and racing super softs. Tyre wear is times 10.
Oh, that's one way to remove a bit of your penalty, isn't it? Get sideways towards the corner.
Yep, and that's one way to mess up your tyres, I know.
Absolutely.
So tyres is at times 10, so it'll the wear it.
Times 18.
Is it 8? Oh, it's 18, yes. Sorry. Times 18, so they're pretty hefty tyre wear. Get around about, 5 laps on the softs? Or more?
You could possibly get 5 on the supers as SRI's gone. Oh no, sorry, Conrod's gone massively wide, but yeah, he's still struggled on his tyres early. Oh yeah, he's struggling with the dirty tyres. SRI spotted him though. I thought Conrod might dive to the pits. But yeah, I think we'll probably be looking at about 5 laps, 10 minutes, maybe on the super soft tyre.
Yeah, and then another 5 minutes for the soft tyres, depending how you use them. Yep. I did personally feel the softs were the better tyre for driving around on. But yeah, tyre rate of times 18, as you can see with Conrod's tyre wear, we're on lap 5 and he's got half on the front.
Someone there, I think that was Bob. Bob had hardly anything on the front. Jason's got a run on him as well. And Jason, no surprise, he's got a decent amount of tyre left. Maybe not now.
I don't think it's a tyre wear. I think that was brown pants moment.
Well, I was going to say, what's that, Jason? Does it smell a bit in that cockpit? So yeah, Conrod's battling still with SRI. May have actually just made the move. But I think Conrod having those sort of minor excursions has cost him on the tyres a little bit. I mean, really, I suppose with the tyres we'd be looking at, if you use the softs all the way through, 2 stop probably. The best strategy, maybe a 3 and push as hard as you can, but you're going to hurt the tyres. Oh, Conrod going with a late turn in again. SRI just managed to back out of it. And now he's learning.
Yeah, I think SRI's just putting his nose in there just to try and get Conrad unsettled. Conrad's taking pretty wider lines compared to what SRI's done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Conrad, I know, didn't get a lot of practice with this car, and it looks like he may be serving some more of his penalty. But I mean, I know personally with this particular car around this track, I found I like to turn in nice and early because that's where the grips seem to be. For someone that's not had much practice, they're maybe going to try and be that little bit more cautious, turn in that little bit later. The problem is I think it'll hurt the tyres a bit more, as we may have been seeing with Conrad as he has a little wobble. SRI really pressuring him. Also, Steve F1 has caught up to the back of Demon R as they are both heading into the pits. So we're nearly 12 minutes into this race, and Steve F1 was on the supers, Demon R was on the softs. Interesting.
SRI's went into the pits. Conrad's continued.
Looked like he thought about pitting. I was just having a wobble.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
He's in the pits.
Well, the important thing now with those that are pitting. Okay, so SRI's pitted. He was right behind Conrad. SRI could potentially gain anywhere around 5 to 7 seconds on the outlap here. Not because of boost, simply because of having the fresher tyre. I think Steve F1 has gone for the super soft tyre again. No, I think he's on the soft tyre. But I'm guessing that Demon R had a bit of a messy end to the stint because he had a big lead throughout that first stint until the very end. Conrod's tyres, I think if he'd not been having a few excursions, he'd still be able to circulate no real issues on that amount of wear, because he's had a couple of adventures. I'm not sure. Bob, oh dear Dave. Okay, they need to get into the pits fairly damn sharpish, but I don't blame them going the extra lap here, because yes, they might lose out a little bit here, but they'll gain once they do pit, as Bob and Dave look like they may be struggling quite a bit on their tyres. Where they go in, they're both going off the track a little bit, followed by my leader, although that's Conrad at the moment.
So the first set of softs have lasted about 5 laps.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm not really that surprised, because if you think about it, in the first stint, people are really going to be pushing. So yeah, I'm not surprised it perhaps only lasted that long. But also, one of the things that quite a few of the drivers will be aware of is they're not going to want to get undercut. I mean, Conrod's about to find this out, the amount of time he's going to lose to SRI right now, but it may benefit Conrad a little bit later on, as Dave the Harp still ahead of Bob. So Dave has managed to catch up to Bob, but yeah, needs the pit lane, doesn't he?
Yeah, like his tyres is... Oh, Bob, a wee touch there. But yeah, Dave the Harp's tyres, there's basically nothing there. It's like a road car's tread. Is that what?
I'll tell you what, SRI's making a move on SGP, yeah, right behind Dave and Bob. Conrad into the pits now. SGP's tyres must be knackered. Twilight pitted not long ago.
SRI.
I think Bob and Dave had a bit of a moment there as well. I don't know if it was together or not. Art Pal also into the pit lane. So this getting very, very busy right now, but
Dave the Harp's still going. This is interesting with not that tyre wear.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the necessarily the right choice. SGP making the move. I think Dave can't do anything. I mean, this is a situation now for Dave where he just needs to try and stay on the track. Conrad coming out of the pits. SRI's already down the hill. So yeah, they were side by side near enough when SRI pitted. Now SRI probably got 4 or 5 seconds on him maybe.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see where Conrad is. But who was that? Was off track? Was that Dave the Harp?
It was, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if his tyres struggled big time with Eau Rouge. So there's Conrad. SRI's already through the chicane coming up ahead. But like I said, the benefit for Conrad is that he'll now have, Dave, there's nothing he can do about this, is there? Conrad has now got 1 lap fresher tyres, so he'll have the benefit in 4 or 5 laps' time.
Yeah.
Jimmy having a cheeky look.
He's just coming out. What's that? The hairpin just before No Name, and SRI was going into the corner of No Name, so a few seconds, yeah, I'd say.
Jimmy making a move on Dave the Harp here. Dave's going to struggle through 2-1 with the limited front end on that car at the moment. Jason just ducking to the inside with fresher tyres. This is kind of damage limitation for Dave at the moment, but he'll have the fresher tyres when other people will have pain a little later on. Conrad closed right up to the back of Twilight now. What do you call it?
Twilight,
The way you finished that word part way through just sounded like you called him a name. Who's that? Is that Jimmy that's gone wide? Was it Bob? No, it was Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy gone wide. Jason's passed him. Now, interestingly, just to let you know, Demon R is on the soft tyre. Steve F1 is on the soft tyre. SRI, I believe, is on the soft tyre. And Conrad is on the soft tyre. SGP, I think he pitted a fair few laps ago. So I'm not sure how his tyres are doing at the moment, but SRI is closing the gap in on him once again. No, sorry, it's Conrad closing in. Yeah, I think SGP's tyres must be knackered then, because it was in the middle of the corner that Conrad just really gained on him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was sliding. Conrad kind of straightened him up a wee bit there as he came out the corner.
Hopefully, Dave the Harp is into the pits now. Interestingly, Dave taking that pain of running quite a bit longer. It does mean that he's only got 23 minutes left of the race, so he's probably given himself a couple of shorter stints. Question is, can he gain back some of that time? Conrad got a run now on SGP down the Kemmel Straight, and I think SGP is going to be sitting down going quack quack.
Is it? Is it not fart?
Well, yeah, usually, yeah. Okay, David Harp's on the move again. Conrad gets the move done. Conrad now in the hunt after SRI. I wonder how, I'd love to know, it runs a bit wide. I wonder how big that gap is. It's a shame we can't see the timing tower, but there we go. Right, anything else we want to make? Oh, there's something to quickly mention. For those of you that haven't seen it, guys, check out the video that we've shared on Saturday, 8 o'clock, to do with the next championships race start procedures. If you haven't watched it, you're going to balls up the start of your races. Also, we've got to see there how close Demon R and Steve F1 are. There's SRI.
Is that Conrad there?
It is Conrad there. So it's about 4.5 seconds Conrad to SRI. But it's kind of a tricky situation if Conrad pushes, burning the tyres. Okay, Jason's got himself right back into this race. Who's that? Art Pal and Jimmy having a battle through the Fangnia. No, it's not. Yeah, it is Fangnia. Le Fang or campus.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, somebody apparently there. Who was that? Yeah.
That was her, yep. Okay, so...
Yeah, Steve F1. We're getting back at Demon R here.
Yeah, that
as
is.
We see Arpal and Jimmy having a bit of a battle.
I'm wondering... I'm guessing Artpal's got much fresher tyres than Jimmy at the moment. I could be wrong, but I think Jimmy did pit prior to Artpal's Twilight into the pits. Fuel shouldn't be an issue for any of the drivers. Yes, it will burn away, but it shouldn't be any risk. Oh, Rich Blues is going very slow, just let David Harp through on the pack cam. I don't know if there was anything between them or whether Rich was just recovering from something. Jimmy's gone deep.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Jimmy.
Oh, why's that? Because he's not been sideways?
Yeah.
you just give it a moment. Now,
let's see. Come on, Jimmy. Sideways up.
Yeah,
no, not wide. Not wide. Sideways.
Clearly, he needs a better translator. You mentioned about Steve F1 closing in on Demon R. Thinking about it, Demon R was on the soft tyre at the start. Steve F1 was on the super soft tyre. They both did the same amount of laps, and Steve F1 managed to close the gap in. So I'm wondering whether Demon R is maybe trying to look after his tyre a little bit more in this stint, because up at the front, it's one of those situations. I mentioned that nobody will want to get undercut. It's difficult for us to know at the moment exactly what everybody's doing for strategy, but we know for Demon R and Steve F1 they pitted at the same time. When it comes to their next round of pit stops, if Steve F1 pits first, he jumps ahead of Demon R. If Demon R pits first, he'll hold on to the lead, but Steve F1 can then have much fresher tyres. So it's very important to keep an eye on what happens there. But it'll also be important for Demon R to get far enough into this race. Oh, Jason's all over SGP. SGP's tyres are knackered, look.
Yeah, he's got as much as Dave the Harp had as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason able to get that car turned in a wee bit better than SGP and just breeze past with a better grip.
Jason's
what would you say for a free stopper? What time would you? I'd reckon he would be coming in about nowish or the next couple of minutes for a free stopper.
A three stopper, you should be doing your second stop now. Yeah. SGP. He has got no front end grip. Three stopper, you should be doing your second stop now so that you can do one more stop around 10 minutes to go. Oh, he's got no grip at all, has he? Into the pits he goes. No, he's not going into the pits. He's parking it. Oh, that's the wrong way. Can he get back into the pit? Yes, he can. There we go. He'll get it. Oh, no, he can't. He's parked it in the middle of the pits. Oh. Well, fair play to the cameraman for getting every angle of that.
that just shows you how hard it was with his tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interestingly, look at Demon R's tyre wear. He's got 50% gone, and he's been about 10 minutes on these tyres. He's looking after his tyres a lot more than he was in that first stint. He's got a lot more tyre left. Steve F1, okay, got similar. Yeah, and Steve F1, I think he's on the same tyre as Demon R at the moment. So their next pit stops are definitely critical. SRI, decent amount of wear on those, although running a little bit wide now. Conrad is now catching him up. Conrad has a bit more wear on his available on his tyres, but we expected that. He's got fresher tyres. He pitted a lap later, didn't he? So it'd be interesting to see when these two pit again, because these two are currently battling it out for third and fourth. So I wouldn't be surprised if SRI pits before Conrad, but will Conrad then be able to catch up like he's doing now?
Yeah, it could be dependent. He's was it 27 on a delta time loss, so depending on the cars behind them when they pit, if they're going to hold them up or not.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the thing as well. If we look at the track map is very spread out. There's a couple of cars battling every now and again. Conrad got a right good run on SRI here. Yep, around the outside he goes. He may be able to get this move done into Blanchimont. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he is. Up the inside. SRI, is he going to fight it? He is. Oh, Demon R's into the pits. That's early. 16 minutes to go. That's well early. Conrad's ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be SRI's fault.
Yes, he has. Now, that might not be a bad time for SRI to pit, but it's a long stint coming up now on their next set of tyres. I mean, to put it into perspective, they'd only done, 12, 13 minutes previously? I mean, we saw how much Conrad was catching SRI, we saw how much Steve F1 had caught Demon R earlier on. The benefit, though, for Demon R and SRI, depending on where they come out, Demon R is coming out ahead of Art Pal. Art Pal coming past, is he? No, tucking him behind and giving Demon R a bit of a bump. I'm wondering whether Art Pal's just thinking, you know what, I haven't got the tyre wear, so you might as well just be in front of me. He's not got the grip, yeah. He's not lost anything, he gets the slipstream down the straight. Okay, so the thing that Demon R and SRI are both going to benefit from now is potentially 5 to 7 seconds worth of undercut. So they could be opening up big gaps now on Steve F1 and Conrad.
But then it depends what happens at the end of how they use their tyres. They've got to be very careful. What we got? 15?
About 15 minutes to go. I mean, this is the thing. They need to look after their tyres right now. If they push their tyres too hard right now, they will definitely not last towards the end. Jason's got another pit stop to do with that amount of tyre wear, and Demon R is closing in on him. Jason, nearly running wide. David Hart, how's he getting on? We saw him pit after about 17 minutes, so I think Dave will have another pit stop to do. He's on the soft tyre. I don't know what else you may be able to see out there, Ray.
Nothing much. Just watching Demon R catch up and onto the back of Jason, which he's doing very quickly. With the difference on tyre wear, is Jason going to battle it, or is he going to let him go?
I don't think
looks like he's.
A choice.
Well, no, he's not, is he?
Well, interestingly, look at how much tyre wear Demon R has used up on this outlap. It's a slither. Now, I do know that is taking it very easy on the tyres. So he's had a good outlap there. I'd love to see what SRI's where was. Jason into the pits for what will be his last pit stop, I reckon. He should be able to do 13 and a half minutes to the end. I really want to see SRI's tyres. SGP, he's finally got in and out of the pits. Don't know when.
Yeah. It's on the back, he's chasing down Dave the Harp.
I don't know if SGP's going to be able to get to the end. Yeah, he should be able to on that amount of wear, unless he pushes a little bit too hard. I really would like to see SRI's tyre wear, though, to compare those sort of outlap wear rates. Steve F1 did not pit, still hasn't pitted. So didn't go for the cover off, and neither has Conrad, interestingly, which means, Ray, that both Demon R and SRI are going to get another lap of 5 to 7 seconds worth of undercut. SGP, though, is going to get a ton of slipstream here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be best waiting until the top of La Rouge and...
if he can stay on the road.
yeah, if he can stay. I think Dave the Heart maybe had a moment there, or SGP had a moment there, but yeah, look at that, he's overtook him and already got a bit of a gap.
It may be a case of, as well, the slight difference in tyre where Dave may be not having the grip up Eau Rouge that SGP had. Bob, I think we've just seen pit on the pack cam, although...
Steve F1's tyres.
Yeah, he's got to be pitted now, hasn't he? I mean, the thing is, good question, Ray, why has he continued on to this point? Why run this long on the tyres?
He's trying to make his last stint as short as possible.
I wonder, maybe, I mean, could he go to the super soft tyre? Would it benefit going? Demon Art has had another very nice outlap. Not an outlap, but another lap with very little wear on those tyres. Art Power, he's got to get in the pits. He's got to get in the pits. I want to see SRI's tyres. SRI's had a nice wear rate as well. Steve F1 is into the pit lane. Twilight, he'll need to pit again as well. Jason won't. Jason's had a nice outlap as well. He's used up less tyre than Demon R did.
Did he pit in the same lap?
No, pitted a lap after, but he's almost done a lap and he's hardly used any tyres. So Demon R then retakes the lead of the race with Steve F1 in the pits. Questions now will be, and Art Pal in the pits and Conrad, how big are these gaps going to be? SRI, is he through to second?
Yes, he's up into second.
Yes, Twilight's up into third. Is he? No, sorry.
No, Steve F1. It was the timing screen at the end of the pit lane. Steve F1's still in second place, but how far from SRI is it?
It's a couple of seconds. Well, looking at this, Demon R's heading into... There's Conrad, and he's coming out behind Twilight, or alongside Twilight, behind Twilight. I think Demon R's got the whole Kemmel straight over Steve F1. Conrad is got about half the straight behind SRI. Nearly all the straight.
Yes, SRI had caught up to Steve F1 quite a bit. He's what, 1, 2, 3, about 4 seconds behind.
Yeah. Oh, Twilight trying to hang it round the outside. I don't know if he'll have the grip to do it. Yeah, he hasn't. Unlucky. Conrad through. Conrad needed to get that move done. I mean, interestingly, bumpity.
Oh, Conrad! I thought he was going on.
Yeah, I think if Steve F1 had continued on for one more lap, SRI would have been past him. Twilight is going to need the pits. Interestingly, Jason's really got himself back into this race, closing in on Twilight. He's only a couple of seconds behind Conrad.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Twilight, I don't think there's a lot he can do. His entire wear is quite large at the moment. So Twilight will be heading to the pits soon, I'm sure. Perhaps for a soft set of tyres. Now, I didn't look at what tyres people went on for the final stint. Well, I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Okay, what else we've got? Art Pal, he's on the pack cam somewhere behind SGP, and he's got a bit of a gap to whoever is in 9th place.
Whoever's got the yellow wing. He's got a yellow wing. Maybe. Is it, Jimmy? I thought he was purple.
I don't know. Okay, so let's try and have a look. Demon R on the track map is going through the hairpin now, first corner. It's going to count the gap.
6, 8, 10, 1, 4, 8, 6, 5.
It's about 12 seconds. Twilight heading into the pit. So that's how much Demon R gained over Steve F1 with the pit stops. Art Pal, very fresh tyres, soft tyres for him. Closing in on SGP, who's going to be longer on his set of tyres. So it'll be interesting to see how that battle comes along. Unfortunately, we've not been seeing much of what's been going on a little bit further back, but I think it's just a little bit spread out at the moment, from sort of 8th, 9th down. So maybe we will cover some of that. I would guess the pack camera's been sort of flicking through bits of that. But this is one of the downsides, though, of not having boost, isn't it, Ray? Normally, this sort of point of a race, 8 minutes to go, we'd have like 10 cars all trying to get the same piece of tarmac.
Yeah, this is where it would all come back together and everybody be doing that last lap for do or die.
Absolutely. I mean, talking about do or die as well, I mean, sometimes people just have to take a risk, don't they? And this is the kind of race where if you take a risk and it pays off, big time, bonus, good fun. If it doesn't pay off, it can punish you massively. So things like Demon R and SRI pitting when they did, they've got big gaps now, but in 7 minutes' time, that could change dramatically. Got more cars into the pits. I think that's Rich Blues and Hay in the pits, as Art Pal is closing in on SGP, and it is Rich Blues into the pits. But I am curious, Ray, though, just seeing as everything's been spread out. I'm curious whether you had any chat-up lines as you were in your younger years, like any sort of go-to chat-up lines to woo the ladies.
Nah, just alcohol.
Oh, right, fair enough. It works. Well,
what did you expect?
well, anyway, I met a lady recently, but it didn't go too well, because this is what I said, so I went up, and this is, I need to sue Google Maps for not recommending you as a great place to eat out.
Oh, Jesus.
Art Battle closing in on SGP, really closing in. Now, if you thought that SGP getting sideways in the pit lane may have hurt his feelings today, I think Art Pal passing him and beating him in this race might hurt his feelings as well. Art Pal having a look. I mean, Art Pal's got the much fresher tyres, so I don't think SGP to be able to do much about this at all. He'll fight it. I'm sure he will. Of course he will.
Yeah, hopefully. Sitting here watching a spread out race. This is a wee bit of a battle to go. Let's see what's he going to do.
He's got him, hasn't he? I'm just looking at the pack cam as well. Conrad closing in. Art Pal up the inside. Better tyres under braking as he is brave. I think SGP knows he can't push those tyres if he wants to get them to the end. I mean, this is the thing as well. I don't think there's any pitting now and recovering anything. Conrad SRI side by side on the exit and no name towards Puwon. Conrad's got the inside line. He's wasted no time. The fresher tyre, and he's got good life left in those tyres as well.
Yeah, even though he's been pushing to catch up, it looks like he's kept the tyres in good nick. I'd like to see SRIs to see how good nick his is.
Yeah,
they can't be that good. Like Conrad's pulling away.
That he is. I sounded a bit like Wasker the Wabbit. That's all, folks. Anyway, I know what I was going on about. That one. Okay, Twilight catching Jimmy.
Yeah. Not really seen much. Oh, what happened there?
He listened to you. He got sideways for you. I didn't see what happened, but I saw he was sideways. Okay, Twilight's got very good tyre wear, so I don't think Jimmy can do anything about him. I think Jimmy's tyres may be dead. Looking at how much he's dropped off and how much he just got sideways in the middle of Puwon. On the pack cam, it looks like it might be showing the gaps between first and second. Yet still a big gap there. SGP's tyres, yeah, no wonder Art Pal got past and pulled away. I mean, could SGP pit? He could, but if he did, I think he just loses more places. He'd be better off probably staying out now. Twilight.
Twilight. A bit wide there.
Yeah. I would say Twilight might be able to catch SGP, might not, but if SGP had pitted, then Twilight definitely catches him. Jason in 4th place at the moment. Is it 4th? No, 5th place, sorry. Doing well at the moment, considering he started at the back. But he was the 2nd fastest in qualifying. And the gap between... Oh, Steve F1, there's his tyres. He's on the super softs.
He's on the super softs.
Yeah.
I did see. SRI's lost a lot of time. Look.
Hasn't
He needs to be careful here.
I'm wondering if he's just overheated the tyres in a few places because his wear isn't that bad, but Jason has got fresher tyres. Art Powell's much fresher tyres. But yeah, Steve F1, I mean, I questioned why he might have gone the extra few laps, and clearly it would have been to have the super soft tyre to try and close the gap in. The question is enough SGP's tyres are just getting worse, aren't they? Well, they're not going to get better.
Nah, I don't know if he can pick up the marbles and mold them into a tyre.
Yeah. Okay, so is that Twilight? Yes, it is Twilight.
Yeah.
Going through. I always forget the name. Paul Beaurivage, I think it's called. Sorry, I did put that one on the track map. Jimmy ahead of Bob, who's going a little wide, and then we've got Dave Harp, who was just getting rid of a bit of penalty. Gary, lovely livery on Gary's car, nice chrome silver. And then we've got Hay, who's got Rich Blues not too far behind him. Hay and Rich pitted at the same time a few laps ago. Demon Arse tyres. Oh, and looking at the time, sorry Ray, looking at the time, 1:15 to go. This is the last lap.
Oh, he's got to hold on for a full lap.
Well, that gap has really come down, hasn't it?
Yeah, what's Steve F1's tyres like? Come on. Oh, we're not going to see Steve F1. Where are we going?
No.
We're going to this battle. Bob, Jimmy and Dave the Harp.
Yeah, that we are. I mean, something we're going to have to be aware of here as well is that as the timer gets to 40, that'll be the end of the race. So anyone that crosses the line after the 40, it is race over. So Jimmy with Bob right behind him, Dave the Harp there as well. Bob's got no tyres. Dave's got slightly better tyres, and I think Jimmy's got no tyres. Up the inside, Dave goes. Wide Bob goes. What a move. Oh no, he's still there.
No, he's still there. He's late on the brakes.
Oh, can he get it stopped? He can't get it stopped. Oh, Dave tried to do a double switch back. Can't get it done. Are they going to cross the line with a lap to go? Yes, they are. They're going to have one more lap to go. Bob and Jimmy will not like that because their tyres are dead. I think Dave will get Jimmy here. Jimmy going defensive. I think Dave will just bypass him easily. The difference in tyre is dramatic.
I think Jimmy just placed his car good enough that Dave the Harp couldn't get on the accelerator.
Absolutely. Also, it is now final lap of the race confirmed. So there is a car heading into the... Ooh! Go on.
Contact up Harouge.
Okay, there is a car crossing the start-finish line now. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but they are the first to finish. I think that's 12th place. There is another car closing in as well. There are another couple of cars, which will be Hay and Jimmy. So I think that would be Gary, Hay, and not Jimmy, Rich, sorry, that have come to the end. Here's Demon R, leader of the race. Jason's closing in on Ballbag as well on the pack cam. How close is Steve F1? He's really closing in. He's really closing in.
Oh yeah, he's really closed in. Where are they? At the back.
Well, Demon R, he's going to cross the line. He's going to take the victory. Steve F1 closed the gap, but not enough. Second place, Conrad. He's in third. I thought that
SRS wide. SRS wide.
Ballbag, dear. Blanchimont Ballbag, and Jason's through. Good, thank you very much. Conrad does take third place. Jason steals fourth off SRI just before the finish line. Artpal sixth place. He's had a decent race as Artpal. Ahead of SGP, who's somehow still got a little bit of tyre life left, but not a lot. Well, if you're going to make it, well, might as well make it interesting towards the end, eh? Yeah.
But is Twilight get past him? It's Twilight.
Yes, he has. He has. He's stolen the seventh. Oh, it's a race to forget for SGP. Dave the Harp, is he close? No, Dave's not close enough to capitalise either. So SGP looking after his tyres through the final couple of corners there. Dave the Harp has a bit of a gap over Bob and Jimmy. So his tyres, and it was Gary, Hay and Rich that did cross the line in 12th, 13th and 14th. So David Hart is going to come through to take 9th place with Bob in 10th and Jimmy in 11th. Oh, Jimmy's got no tyres and he's on the super soft tyre. I'm wondering whether there was an error in the pit lane there with the tyre choice, because he was doing a very long stint on the super soft tyre, and don't want to do long stints on the super soft tyres. Oh, well, what a boring race that was.
Yeah, quite a lot of action for what I thought it was going to be to what it actually was. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot more spread out than we're used to, but it is good, I think, to have the different race, the ARC, the Annual Rivals Challenge, and I'm sure we'll do it again at the end of the next year, where God knows what car or track we could be doing. I mean, this track was voted for through a series of votes, reducing a selection of tracks down to one. So yeah,
but it was quite interesting with it. People and their positions from qualifying racing.
I mean, it's with Jason.
Because well, if Jason stayed in second place, he'd a great chance of winning that.
Absolutely.
Coming through the pack and whatnot, to get SRI in the last lap. But yeah, like it was interesting, like where people finished up, and like SGP, he was down at the back. He couldn't get through as quick as Jason. He didn't seem to follow Jason, which we kind of would expect with SGP.
He's got a lot going on at the moment, and I don't think he had any sleep. So, I think it's just a difficult race all around. But it is one of those. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, I mentioned it during the race. If you have one moment of an error, like a big error, and have a crash, it's not like you can really get back into the race dead easy, because you can't, because we're not having the boost. You can get back to a point, but yeah. So it's one of those. If SGP hadn't have had the issue at the pit lane, it would have been much further up the road, and it's one of those things. But a few things that I do want to say about that. I want to thank all the drivers for turning up to that race, because one of the fears we've always had is that with not having boost on, that some drivers may just give up. So thank you very much for turning up, and for going all the way to the end. We'll mention as well, Bunsell did join us for the race as well, but unfortunately he had to go before we could start the race, because he had to be up very early in the morning. But thank you to Bunsell.
He had to pick up hitchhikers and he's worried, didn't he?
That he did. So thank you to all of the drivers there. Also thank you to all the viewers. What did the blind man say when he walked past the fish market?
Make sure you watch the video that's been posted in Dynamic GT League's page.
He didn't fucking say that, because he can't watch it. He could listen to it.
For next season's race starts.
Right. What did the blind man say when he walked past the fish market? Morning, ladies.
Alright.
What do you get?
How would he know it's a lady?
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's blind. That's why he's walking past the fish market and just saying "Morning, ladies." Yeah. Right.
But how does he know a lady smells like that if he can't see if it's a lady?
Well, that's true. Maybe when he's in the strip joint, he goes, "Could I have some cod, please?" What do you get if you cross an owl and a rooster?
Dunno.
A cock that stays up all night.
Alright.
Right. And now this one, right? This, Ray, is a gift for you. Okay, it's a gift for everybody out there that's got a partner. Okay, so what I want you to do, Ray, in a moment, not on this broadcast, but go up to Kirsty, and for everybody else, don't go up to Kirsty because she ain't gonna fucking clue who you are. Go up to your own partner. Go up to Kirsty, ask her to look down her top and spell attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've been watching her as well, have you? You pervert.
I think everybody. Well, one person does it, and then the whole world fucking has to put a TikTok out on it.
That is true. That is true. Well, I'm not revealing my source of these jokes, but anyway. Okay, I had to get started off with a few jokes. Now, just as
Did you say that to your granny? Is that your source?
No, it'd be ATTIDC. If you're wondering about the D, don't. Boom, boom. Okay, right. There's no G-spot this week or anything like that. The arc is done, dusted. Well done, everybody. The next championship season is starting this coming week. So next Sunday should be the race video for that. The Toyota, which I believe is being called the Virtual Sunlight Championship. And what's the message to all of the drivers, Ray?
Make sure you watch the video. It's posted on the page. It was posted on Saturday. Make sure you watch it. It's got important information on the race starts. The race starts are different. Something new we're trying out as we are dynamic GT League, and we try different things. We don't stick to the same things. So watch that, and because if you turn up in the first race and we start the race and you just bomb past us, then we know you've not watched the bloody video.
Yep, and you'll be getting disqualified. I reckon that's what we should do, actually. If you've not watched it, you get disqualified. But yeah, so yeah, please watch it, folks. I went to loads of effort putting the video together. It took me all of 20 minutes.
That's just like a 5-minute fucking livery that SGP does, or Twilight.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to mention. I don't think there is. Welcome to 2023. That's the arc done and dusted. Thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
No, it's always a pleasure.
That it is.
Even me, your shitty jokes. I'm actually polishing my desk while we're doing this.
No, I've got to do some cleaning. I've got to do some cleaning. Yeah, not even a joke. Anyway, right. Have a good one, everybody.
Get some polishing to do, yeah.
Oh, I've got polish no wood. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.
Good night.